Alright, this is the rainbow world. I've added all the colors of the rainbow. I left none out. A lot of times you think it's rainbow, it's not. It's still missing like 2 colors. There's Whopper. He's getting it. I need to go around and check the areas that I live in and am specifically apt to traverse myself alone. It's the call of the wild. I mean, some people get it, some people don't. I think everyone should answer the call of the wild. Still a little in disarray from the last time we had the storms. This is the notorious Christmas cactus. You probably can't really tell what the fuck I'm looking at. This plant right here. This thing, that's a bad motherfucker. If you hit it or do anything, it launches these double barbed little fingers off on you, and you've got to they're not easy to get out at all. Let's see if I should try my luck at clover. I'm a notorious 4-leaf clover finder. I'm even better than that. I found 5-leaf clovers too. But I sense for them, and I don't sense any in that. So I'm not going to waste my time. Just want to look around. This is a wonderful place. I should get it on normal camera too. In fact, I think I will switch on over. This is where I do my ley line grid work. I line from this place this way to Avesbury and plug in my commentator rod. You can see the maybe not. Hold.
Well, this is just a fucking fine how do you do, because I can't film nothing in normal camera. I can take pictures, but when I do it, you just see the film, it just stops. It just doesn't film. I can use the other camera and it works. I mean, it's the same camera from the phone, but if you have no extras, it doesn't work. So I don't seem to understand that. Anyway, I was showing the place where you connect to the Avesbury. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to filter that in there. And you see, you draw that line. I have to draw it from Avesbury because I can't find Avesbury from space. I can find my house from space over Texas because I can zoom in with the amount of rate that it will clear up, and I look for the river. The river has a certain bend, and then I zoom in there. So I could fall onto the earth and land on my house, were I given one of those raccoon suits. So that's just something to think about. I could land in my own yard, I bet. I'd be splat, but hey, I could put myself right there. I could put myself down. Anyway, I was basically saying, if you do this, connecting to this is like the transmission rod going in from the axle from your engine into your transmission. It's the way it works. And I've had many years, even with stalled time, to confer that it seems to be the case. It's like that tractor that's sitting out there you can't see. It's just like that. You can plug in whatever you want after the shaft and then kick the shaft into gear. And that's going to happen because the earth turns. And it has different effects, and they come in from that point. Then you can jump it between the plus and negatives wherever you may find them in the yard. Have you had 7+ years of barefooted walking around it and such to plot it out? Because I have. I guess because the updating and whatever it does on its own, you can't, if you have it stored in your drive, the UMV or UMG, whatever it is, you have to put in KMV. If you don't put in KMV, you don't get the right format come up. And the other one's not in the format anymore, which was, it was a better one because it put it all over there. It was a lot better lines. It looked, you can see that the ones that come up for mine are the Dan Winter shapes, the tetraisa dodecahedral, the square, double square spinning inside of itself type of shit. Very hard to imagine the feat that goes on, but I'll put a link to where Dan Winter's really breaking it down. Because, you know, if you can understand what the fuck he's talking about, it does make sense, but it's very hard to get your mind wrapped around it if you don't normally think in those terms. But this is a video on basically using your land to plug into the grid. Because if now, at any other time, people need to do stuff like this to counteract this fucking retard-ass spirit that's overtaken America. It's that strong delusion.
Just mentioned to you that in Unified Science to Understand Miracles by some fella from a spaceship, the formula for the translation of vorticity in a torus was used to derive the fine structure constant, 1/137 ... The idea is that if you know how rotation, it's translated from line to circle to line, you have the key from energy to matter. Illustrations, an example, in the pyramid, the radius dividing evenly into height, you have this wave that comprises circumference, circle, being exactly able to phase lock onto the line that comprises energy, straight down line from above, male versus female. Energy line, circle, female, matter. And so this translation of vorticity that occurs in the pyramid brings energy to matter. And the pyramid's original function, phase lock the Earth after a tilted grid, is illustrative of that requirement. Example B, Victor Schauberger, choice of the shape of the horn of the antler to pour the water through to translate the vorticity from perfect circle to perfect line in a pathway which loses nothing. So the translation of vorticity, which occurs in the infinite nest of dodecahedron, is illustrative of the universe's desire to bring rotation to line into perfect balance, which is what the spiral of the golden mean is and comprises this nest. So the golden mean edge length three-dimensionally, any axis of symmetry you look at here is the perfect nest of pentagrams you saw two-dimensionally. And all of the laws of the golden mean apply. Every vertex position in the entire model, octahedron green in the center, two tetrahedron, cube red, dodecahedron green, icosahedron blue, and dodecahedron gold, every vertex in their x, y, and z coordinate is a simple power of the golden mean.